Chosen one, before anything else, slow your breath. Let your shoulders soften. This is not a message meant to rush you or alarm you. This is a gentle calling, one that has been forming quietly around you for some time now. Your mother has been trying to reach you, not with fear, not with sadness, but with love that never learned how to stop loving. You didn't imagine the signs. You didn't misinterpret the feelings. Those sudden waves of emotion that came out of nowhere, the dreams that felt more real than sleep, the moments when your heart tightened for no clear reason, those were not accidents. Heaven does not waste emotion. Love does not disappear. It changes form. She has been near, closer than you think. She says, I have been calling you softly because I know how sensitive your heart is. Your mother sees how strong you became after she left. She sees how you learned to function even when something inside you felt permanently missing. She saw the way you carried on for others, even when you didn't know how to carry yourself. She wants you to know this first. I never left you unprotected. Chosen one, there were moments when you felt an unexplainable calm during chaos. Moments when something told you to wait, to pause, to change direction. Moments when danger seemed close, but never reached you. That was not luck. That was love still working. Your mother says, I have stood beside you more times than you realize. Not physically, but spiritually. Not loudly, but faithfully. There were nights you cried quietly so no one would hear. Nights when your chest felt heavy and you didn't know why. Nights when you whispered her name without meaning to. She heard every one of them. Heaven heard. This message comes now not to reopen grief, but to transform it. Your mother knows how much you questioned yourself after she passed. You wondered if you did enough, if you said enough, if she knew how deeply you loved her. She says gently, I knew, I always knew. Love is not measured in final moments. It is measured in a lifetime of care, presence, and connection. Nothing was left unfinished between you. Chosen one, she wants you to release the quiet guilt you've been carrying. You didn't fail her. You didn't abandon her. You didn't miss your chance. What you shared was complete. She sees the way you sometimes hold back joy, as if happiness might be disrespectful to her memory. She sees how you hesitate before fully laughing, fully dreaming, fully hoping, and she says, please don't dim your life for my sake. Your happiness does not dishonor her. Your healing does not erase her. Your future does not replace her. It honors her. Your mother says, I want you to live fully. There is something important she needs you to hear now. The connection you feel is not pulling you backward. It is guiding you forward. She is not asking you to stay in the past. She is helping you step safely into what's next. Chosen one, heaven allowed this message because your heart is ready now, ready to feel comfort without breaking, ready to remember without collapsing, ready to receive love without pain attached. Your mother says, you are stronger than you think and softer than you allow yourself to be. She has seen you grow into someone she would have admired deeply, not just as her child, but as a person. She is proud of your integrity, proud of your kindness, proud of the way you still care deeply in a world that hardened many others. This message is not a warning, it is not a test, it is not a demand, it is reassurance. She wants you to know that when you talk to her in your thoughts, she hears. When you feel guided toward peace, she is near. When you feel comforted without explanation, that comfort is real. Chosen one, love does not end at death. It changes language. And right now, this is love speaking to you in the only way it can. Stay present, stay open, do not rush ahead. There is more she wants to share. Chosen one, let this part settle gently, because this is where your mother speaks not from urgency, but from tender knowing. She understands the way your heart works. She knows you don't need dramatic signs. You need truth that feels safe enough to rest in. She says, I have been with you in the quiet moments, not just in memories, but in the spaces between thoughts, in the pauses where your breath caught for no reason, in the times you felt a sudden warmth or a soft pressure around your chest, as if something unseen had wrapped itself around you to steady you. You questioned those moments. You wondered if they were imagination, but heaven does not imitate comfort. It delivers it. Your mother has watched you navigate life without her guidance, and she wants you to hear this clearly. You did not walk alone the way you think you did. There were decisions you made that surprised even you, choices that protected you when you didn't yet understand why. There were times you avoided harm without knowing how close it came. There were seasons where strength appeared in you at the exact moment you needed it. That was not coincidence. That was a covering still active. She says, I asked God to watch over you when I no longer could, in the way you were used to. And God answered. Chosen one, your mother wants to address the ache you've tried to carry quietly, the ache of wanting her voice during moments you didn't anticipate needing her, when life shifted suddenly, when responsibility felt heavy, when you wished someone would reassure you the way only she could. She knows. She says, I see how often you've had to reassure yourself. That strength you built, self-soothing, self-encouraging, self-guiding, it did not go unnoticed. But she wants you to release the belief that you must always be strong alone. You don't. There is help around you now, even if it arrives differently. Your mother says, let yourself be supported again. Support does not mean dependency. It means trust. It means allowing life to meet you halfway. It means receiving kindness without suspicion. You learned caution after loss. That was survival. But survival is not meant to be permanent. Chosen one, the season ahead is not about enduring, it is about living. Your mother speaks gently about the dreams you tucked away after she passed, dreams you postponed because joy felt complicated, plans you delayed because stability felt fragile. She says, you are allowed to want more. Wanting more does not mean you were ungrateful for what you had. It means your heart is still alive, still growing, still capable of expansion. She wants you to know something very important now. I am not attached to your sadness. You do not honor her by staying broken. You honor her by becoming whole. She smiles when she speaks about the way you care for others, the way you listen deeply, the way you sense when someone needs comfort without them asking. Those are her fingerprints. She says, you carry my tenderness forward. Even when you don't recognize it, even when you doubt yourself, even when you feel unsure, your heart reflects the love that shaped it. Chosen one, there will be moments ahead when you feel prompted to slow down, moments when rest feels necessary, even if your mind resists it. Honor those moments. Your body learned to carry stress quietly, but it does not need to anymore. Your mother says, rest is not falling behind, it is recalibration. There will also be moments when joy surprises you, when laughter comes easily, when something beautiful catches your attention, when hope feels lighter than it used to. Do not stop those moments. Do not question them. That is healing unfolding. Your mother wants you to stop bracing for loss. That reflex was understandable, but it is no longer required. She says, you don't have to keep checking the ground beneath you. You are standing on something solid now. Chosen one, heaven did not allow this message to pull you backward. It allowed it to gently release what you've been holding. There is nothing more you need to do right now. Nothing you need to prove. Nothing you need to fix. Just remain present. Your mother's voice softens as she says this. I am at peace. And because she is at peace, she wants you to be free, free to build, free to love, free to hope without hesitation. This connection is not meant to keep you tethered to grief. It is meant to remind you that love continues, even as life moves forward. Stay with this moment. There is still more she wants to share. Chosen one, this is where your mother speaks from assurance, not longing, from peace, not pain, from completion, not unfinished emotion. This is the part meant to stabilize your heart, so you no longer feel like something is missing every time you move forward. She says, you don't need to look for me anymore. Not because she is far, but because she has already woven herself into who you've become. You carry her voice in the way you speak gently when others are harsh. You carry her wisdom in the way you pause before reacting. You carry her love in the way you protect what matters. She never wanted you to feel like you had to reach upward to find her. She says, "I am not above you, I am with you." Chosen one, this is important. The signs you noticed were not meant to confuse you. They were meant to reassure you until you were ready to live without needing signs. Heaven does not want you dependent on signals. It wants you confident in connection. Your mother says, "You are not losing me by growing." Growth is not separation. Healing is not abandonment. Joy is not betrayal. She has watched you mature in ways that required quiet courage. She has watched you choose restraint when anger would have been easier. She has watched you choose compassion when closing your heart would have felt safer. She is proud, deeply, undeniably proud. She says, "I trust you with your life now." That trust matters. It means she no longer needs to nudge you constantly. It means she knows your spirit has learned to listen. It means heaven recognizes that you are ready to move forward without fear of collapse. Chosen one, this message was never about holding you in the past. It was about closing a chapter with tenderness so you could open the next one without weight. There will be moments when you remember her suddenly, when a smell, a sound, a gesture pulls her into focus. Those moments are not interruptions. They are reminders that love integrates, not intrudes. You don't need to stop what you're doing when that happens. You don't need to retreat inward. You don't need to feel sad. You can simply acknowledge it and continue. That is what peace looks like. Your mother says, "I don't want you to shrink your life to keep me close." Live boldly. Choose joy without apology. Build what you've been dreaming about. She will not be left behind. Chosen one, there is a gentleness entering your life now, a steadiness that doesn't fluctuate with mood or memory. You may feel calmer without knowing why, less reactive, more grounded. That is not emptiness, that is integration. Your mother wants to leave you with one truth that will steady you whenever doubt returns. Love does not disappear when someone passes. It becomes quieter, stronger, and more reliable. You don't need to listen harder. You don't need to wait longer. You don't need to search deeper. You are already connected. So now, let this message settle where it belongs, not as something you revisit endlessly, but as something that supports you quietly. This was not meant to change your life dramatically. It was meant to change how safe you feel living it, and it has. Chosen one, go forward now with ease. Your mother is at peace. You are allowed to be as well. Chosen one, now we move into the second half of this message, not to reopen anything that has already healed, but to anchor you firmly in what comes next. This is where your mother speaks not about the past, not even about your grief, but about your future and the way heaven is actively arranging it around you. She says, "You are stepping into a season I prayed for." Even before you understood what life would demand of you, she prayed, not just for your safety, but for your clarity. She prayed that when confusion came, you would not lose yourself. She prayed that when pressure arrived, you would not harden. She prayed that when doors opened, you would walk through them without fear. Those prayers did not stop when she passed. They were received. Chosen one, heaven has been responding to requests that were spoken over you long before you recognized their impact. Some of the stability you feel now, the quiet confidence, the growing discernment, the sense that certain things no longer have power over you, that is not accidental maturity. That is answered prayer, unfolding slowly and correctly. Your mother says, "I see how carefully you choose now. You no longer rush into things the way you once did. You no longer ignore your intuition. You no longer confuse intensity with meaning. That wisdom came from experience, but it was also shaped by protection. She wants you to trust the way you sense things now. When something feels off, step back. When something feels aligned, allow it. When something feels peaceful, don't overanalyze it. Peace is not a trap. Chosen one, there is movement happening behind the scenes of your life. Not frantic movement, not forced rearranging, intentional alignment, People who are not meant to walk with you much longer will fade naturally, not through conflict, but through irrelevance. This is not loss, this is space being created. Your mother says, I asked God to surround you with what nurtures you. That includes environments, relationships, and opportunities that do not drain you. You may notice that you are less tolerant of chaos now, less willing to stay where you must shrink to fit. That is growth. Heaven is not removing things to punish you, it is removing them to protect your capacity for joy. Chosen one, this season will ask something gentle of you. Honesty with yourself. If something no longer feels right, you don't need to justify staying. If something feels peaceful, you don't need to earn it. If something excites you quietly, you don't need permission to pursue it. Your mother says, trust the life that is forming inside you. She sees the way you hesitate sometimes, how you check yourself before hoping too much. She understands why. Loss taught you caution, but caution is not meant to lead forever. You are not reckless for wanting good things. You are not naive for believing they can last. Chosen one, heaven is not fragile. What is meant for you will not collapse because you believed in it. Your mother says, let yourself look ahead without bracing. There is no sudden storm coming to undo what is being built. The foundation beneath you is strong. The pace ahead is steady. You are not being rushed. You are not being tested. You are being guided. There will be moments in this season where you feel a strong urge to pause, to rest, to reflect, to realign. Do not resist that. Rest will sharpen you, not slow you down. Your mother says, you don't have to prove endurance anymore. Endurance carried you here. Now discernment will carry you forward. Chosen one, the love that surrounds you now is quieter than grief, but stronger. It does not ache. It steadies. It does not pull you backward. It supports you forward. This message did not come to unsettle you. It came to ground you. And as we move into the final part, allow yourself to stay open, not emotionally raw, but peacefully receptive. There is one last truth your mother wants to leave with you, one that will stay with you long after this message ends. Stay with it. Chosen one, let this settle gently, because this is where your mother speaks from confidence, not concern, from assurance, not worry. She is not watching you with fear about what might happen. She is watching you with trust in who you have become. She says, I am not anxious about your future. That matters. Love without fear is the clearest form of peace. Your mother sees how you've learned to navigate life with discernment instead of force. You no longer push doors that resist you. You no longer chase validation that costs you your calm. You no longer confuse silence with abandonment. That growth did not come easily, but it came honestly. She says, you learned to listen to yourself, and that saved you. There were moments when you could have gone the wrong way. Moments when emotions were loud, when pressure was high, when loneliness tempted you to settle for less than you deserved. But something inside you paused. Something whispered, wait. That whisper was not fear. It was wisdom forming. Your mother wants you to understand something important now. You are not fragile anymore. Sensitive, yes. Thoughtful, yes. Deep feeling, yes. But not fragile. She says, you can feel deeply now without losing yourself. That means you don't have to armor your heart anymore. You don't have to anticipate pain before it arrives. You don't have to stay guarded just in case something good disappears. Good things are allowed to stay. Chosen one, this season is not about proving strength. It is about inhabiting peace. About allowing your life to feel lighter without questioning whether that lightness is temporary. Your mother says, stop preparing for what isn't coming. You are no longer standing on unstable ground. The ground beneath you has been reinforced quietly over time. That's why you feel steadier now, even when circumstances are unclear. Stability does not require certainty. It requires alignment. Heaven has aligned you. You may notice that your reactions are changing. You respond more calmly. You detach more easily from unnecessary conflict. You choose silence where you once would have explained yourself. That is not withdrawal, that is maturity. Your mother smiles when she speaks of the way you now protect your peace, not aggressively, but confidently. You no longer feel the need to justify your boundaries. You simply honor them. She says, that tells me you are ready. Ready for what arrives without warning. Ready for joy without guilt. Ready for connections that feel safe instead of draining. Chosen one, heaven is not rushing your life forward, but it is supporting it fully. What unfolds next will not overwhelm you. It will meet you where you are, not where you used to be. Your mother wants you to stop shrinking your expectations to avoid disappointment. That habit kept you safe once, but now it limits you. She says, let yourself want things again. Not desperately, not anxiously, but honestly. You're allowed to imagine a future that feels warm. You're allowed to picture yourself settled, content, fulfilled. Those images are not naive, they are intuitive. Your spirit recognizes what aligns with it. Chosen one, if you feel a sense of quiet anticipation lately, not excitement, not fear, just a calm sense that something is unfolding, that is correct. Something is unfolding, not loudly, not suddenly, but securely. Your mother says, I don't need to intervene anymore. That does not mean she has stepped away. It means she trusts the structure now in place around you. She trusts the wisdom you carry. She trusts the guidance you recognize. This message is not a checkpoint. It is confirmation. You have crossed a threshold already. As this part settles, let go of the need to stay alert for emotional impact. The work being done here is subtle, internal, lasting. You don't need to feel anything dramatic. You don't need to react strongly. You don't need to revisit this again and again. Its effect is already integrated. And now, chosen one, allow yourself to remain present as we move into the final part, where this message closes not with instruction, but with release. Stay with it. Chosen one, this is where the message completes itself. Not with intensity, not with emotion meant to overwhelm you, but with release. This is the moment where your mother steps back, not away from you, but out of the center, so that you can step fully into your own life without carrying invisible weight. She says, you don't need me to hold you anymore. Not because she is gone, not because she is distant, but because you are standing now. There was a time when you needed constant reassurance, when grief made the world feel unsafe, when every step forward felt like a risk. That season required holding. This season requires trust. Your mother trusts you. She says, I raised you to live, not to stay frozen in loss. Chosen one, this is important. Love does not demand that you keep looking back to prove it was real. Real love equips, then releases. It gives roots and then wings. You were given both. This message was not meant to keep you listening. It was meant to let you go forward without hesitation. Your mother says, I am not watching to see if you'll fail. I am watching to see you live. And heaven agrees. There is no unfinished business between you, no unresolved debt of emotion, no requirement to carry sadness as proof of connection. Everything that needed to be shared was shared, whether through words, actions, or quiet presence. Nothing is missing. Chosen one, the tenderness you feel now is not grief resurfacing. It is relief arriving. Relief that you don't have to hold yourself together anymore. Relief that you can trust life again. Relief that you don't have to stay emotionally guarded to stay safe. Your mother says you are allowed to be light. Light does not mean careless. Light means unburdened. As you move forward from this message, you may notice that memories of her feel different. Not sharp, not heavy, but warm. They no longer pull you backward. They sit beside you calmly. That is healing completed, not erased, not forgotten, but integrated. You will not lose her by living fully. You will feel her less urgently because you no longer need reassurance. That does not mean she is farther away. It means you are steadier. Your mother says, I am proud of who you became when it hurt. Now I want to see who you become when it doesn't. Chosen one, there is nothing you need to promise, nothing you need to vow. Nothing you need to commit to out loud. Just live. Live honestly. Live gently. Live fully. The guidance you need will come from within now, not as longing, but as clarity, not as emotion, but as calm knowing. This message has done its work. You do not need to replay it. You do not need to analyze it. You do not need to hold on to it tightly. It will stay with you quietly. Your mother's final words arrive not as a sentence, but as a feeling, steady, warm, reassuring. You are safe. You are loved. You are free, and heaven seals it.